This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
I don't think citizens care at all. If they did, they would have come out and fixed the water leak already.
He says it's the leak that's gone on too long, more than a month. RTV6 is working for you to see what can be done about this muddy mess.
These potholes aren't any closer to getting fixed because there's questions about who actually owns this piece of road. I'm Paris Lubell, and we're digging into that coming up.
And then the stars of HGTV's Good Bones begin a home demolition today that's attracted the attention in the race for Indianapolis mayor. Good evening, I'm Mark Mullins, and first here at 6 o'clock, some East Side residents say their complaints about a lingering water leak aren't being heard. They say it's been leaking more than a month, and Citizens Energy Group has not addressed the problem. They contacted RTV6, and Derek Thomas took up their plight.
You can see the water bubbling up there. The leak begins here at 1928 Houston Street and extends all the way down to Brookside Parkway North Drive. The leak was brought to our attention by Bobby Boggs. He lives a half a block away from the origin of the leak, but says he's concerned about potential damage that the leak may be causing.
The ground underneath the surface of the road and the sidewalk is probably washing away at a pretty good rate. As we know, that's how sinkholes occur. So this water's been running at this rate for a month and a half. So how much ground has washed away? When is the roadway going to give away? When will somebody get hurt? Will that get their attention?
In a statement, a spokeswoman for Citizens Energy told us the leak in question is a curb stop leak, which is not considered an emergency repair. Our water operations team received a repair order on June 4th. We've not received any reports of damage to the road in that area. That did not lessen Boggs' frustration, because the leak is causing other problems.
We have low water pressure here now. When you turn the faucet on now, the water doesn't come out near as nice as what it used to. I've notified citizens about that too. Once again, I guess it's not their problem because nobody has seemed to come to address it.
Despite the annoyances inside and outside his house, there is good news for Boggs. According to Citizens Energy, barring some emergency water break, this leak will be fixed tomorrow. Derek Thomas, RTV6.
Well, when we told Bobby Boggs that Citizens Energy Group vowed to repair the leak tomorrow, he said, "I'll believe it when I see it." We'll follow up and keep you posted. If you have a problem and feel like you have nowhere else to turn, contact us at workingforyou@rtv6.com. Massive potholes that just are more like craters. They aren't getting fixed in one South Side neighborhood anytime soon. The problem, confusion over who actually owns the road. It's a story we first brought you yesterday on the news at 5 and 6. RTV6's Paris Lubell is back out in the neighborhood trying to figure out what happens next.
These potholes are still bad, and there's no signs that they're getting fixed anytime soon. That's because there's questions about who actually owns this piece of road, and it's not the city. Those potholes are like small craters.
Oh, they're bad. They're bad.
We came back on Friday into the Green Leah Acres neighborhood, trying to figure out who's responsible for getting these potholes fixed. On Thursday, the city told us the road is privately owned by the neighborhood association. The problem?
There was no HOA. You've never heard of an HOA?
No, not at all. That topic was never even brought up.
The residents say there's no HOA in the neighborhood.
Since 2008, at least since I bought it, there's not been an HOA. We've never had an HOA, and as far as I know, there's never been one since the beginning of the construction of the neighborhood.
The realtor brought me back here. She said there was no longer an HOA.
According to city property records, the property in red is owned by the homeowners association called Green Leah 2 Homeowners Association Incorporated. But state records show that HOA hasn't existed since 2008.
Not really getting any sort of answers. Just kind of, maybe you should just fix it yourself is kind of the basic response I'm getting at this point.
The city won't fix the potholes. They aren't allowed to use road dollars on private property. The city says this is a rare issue, but they say they legally can't do anything about it. So what's left for the residents in the neighborhood to do? We went to the Tanner Law Group. They specialize in HOA-related issues.
Just because it's administratively dissolved does not mean the association ceases to exist. Those documents, the covenants still run with the property.
David says the covenant still exists and still stands, even though the old association doesn't exist. He says the only thing the community can do is restart the HOA.
The board can decide to be self-managed and make decisions on their own. They could retain a property management company who will collect assessments for them, or they can petition a court for a receiver who will come in and kind of get the association back on track.
So what happens next? It would really be up to the homeowners in this area, but for now they'll have to deal with these potholes on the road. On the south side, Paris LaBelle, RTV6.
Paris, thank you. Now to your Storm Team 6 forecast, and what a fantastic day. A little breezy, not too hot, no humidity, and it appears that will continue into the evening there. So if you want to get out to the Italian Fest there at Holy Rosary Catholic Church, by all means, it's open until 11 o'clock tonight. We are tracking some changes as we head into the weekend, though. Storm Team 6 meteorologist Kyle Mounts is here to fill us in.
Yeah, Mark, right now I would say we're enjoying some of the best weather that we're going to have throughout the upcoming weekend. There's going to be some more dry time in there, but the rain chances will be climbing. This morning, you might have needed that jacket or the heat on in the car. We dropped down to 47 degrees, just 2 degrees shy of that record set in 1955. And temperatures, a very nice recovery this afternoon, lower to middle 70s all across central Indiana. And it's courtesy of this south to southwest wind around 15 to even 20 miles per hour. And we will stay a little breezy through the upcoming weekend as well. Satellite radar, we're increasing the clouds. The showers right now are back into central portions of Illinois. They'll get in here a little later tonight, but the next several hours, if you're going to be heading out there, temperatures with dry conditions through 9 o'clock. We're at 68 degrees, 66 and mostly cloudy at 11. But look at this. As we go through the next several days, rain chances are with us. Highest as we get into the day tomorrow. So we're going to take you hour by hour through your weekend forecast. Get you ready for that rain in just a few minutes.
Kyle, we'll see you soon. Congresswoman Susan Brooks from Carmel announced today she will not seek re-election next year. Brooks says it's a time to let a future Hoosier leader represent the 5th District. Brooks is the first Hoosier female to lead a congressional committee. She sits on the Ethics Committee, which has investigated House members on allegations of harassment. Brooks says this will be her last position in elected office.
The answer is no on running for anything else. It is no. This is it. This is closing the chapter. I've been involved in public service for 16 of the last 22 years of my career. A lot of people forget that. I was deputy mayor for 2 years in the late 90s for Steve Goldsmith, then U.S. Attorney for President Bush for 6 years, and now in year 7 in elected office. And I have loved it, but I am not going to run for office after this.
Well, the Congresswoman will continue to help House leadership recruit other Republicans to run for Congress. She says one of her biggest accomplishments is her office responding to more than 4,000 cases for people living in the 5th District, which includes Marion, Hamilton, Madison, and parts of Howard counties. Two local stars of an HGTV show are now in the middle of the Indianapolis mayoral race. Yesterday, Republican mayoral candidate Jim Merritt criticized Mayor Joe Hogsett for claiming the house at 1230 South Talbot was a success story. Merritt said it was an example of failed neighborhood revitalization. Hogsett has made it a priority to address blight. The stars of HGTV's Good Bones bought the home from the city months ago, but say they just hadn't gotten around to working on the house because they have more than a dozen that they're working on right now. They were there today to begin demo and say it's just a coincidence that it's happening now.
I say today, without resolution and without qualification, that it absolutely is a success story.
I can see how it looks like a little fishy, but this has been on our docket for a while, and we demoed one yesterday down the block. This was next up.
Merritt's campaign released a statement saying Hogsett is taking credit for a success that is not completed. A heads up, if you plan to be traveling on the city's northwest side, starting tonight, a portion of I-65 will be closed for 2 weeks. I-65 northbound will close at 9 o'clock from I-465 to the 865 interchange. It will stay closed until July 1st. Crews will be milling and repaving the road. After that work is done, the closure will switch to I-65 south in that same area from July 12th through July 29th. Still ahead here on the news at 6 on this Father's Day weekend, we take a look at a program that helps dads succeed in the workforce and at home.
It's summertime in Indiana. Who doesn't want to get out and get active? Well, these guys are, and Andrew Luck is all a part of it. Coming up here on RTV6.
Those temperatures are rising for us, and so are the rain chances. Unfortunately, that kind of coordinates with the upcoming weekend on Saturday, especially as we go through the morning. Rain is fairly likely. We'll talk about the chance for any severe weather in your weekend forecast. You're watching RTV6 News at 6.
I am Levita.
This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
A large Westside employer is expanding and added hundreds of more jobs. Allison Transmission today broke ground on its new innovation center in Indianapolis. The center will be built next to the company's current headquarters on the city's west side. Allison Transmission had already announced plans for a new vehicle environmental test facility as well. The company says the expansions will create up to 300 new jobs over the next 2 years. Those new jobs will include positions in engineering, purchasing and marketing, sales, and service. RTV6's Hiring Hoosiers initiative was created to not only help you better your life, but to improve the life of your family. It's a mission similar to one local organization, one that's been helping fathers succeed in the workforce and at home for more than 25 years. The Fathers and Family Center has helped thousands of men find and maintain employment. President and CEO Wallace McLaughlin says that the men are in class for 3 weeks, taking on job tours, and learn the soft skills needed to succeed. He says many of the fathers are not deadbeat, but dead broke, and they want to work. They just need assistance along the way.
People are unemployed because there are a lot of systemic and personal social barriers that may get in the way for them finding meaningful employment. But when they come here, we don't judge them. We examine where they are, but we also take an asset model that you're bringing something to the table. Otherwise, you wouldn't have come here.
Once the men find employment and maintain the job, life at home typically improves too, setting a solid foundation for their children. Fathers and Families also offers a high school equivalency program and counseling services. They welcome anyone to walk into their location on North Illinois Street to learn more. We've also put a link to their website on hiringhoosiers.com. When Channel 6 signed on the air on May 30th, 1949, all the programming was in black and white. It took a while for color to enter the picture. By 1967, we were full color. But that posed new challenges for the production staff, who were asked to make sure the anchors looked good. Producer-director Julio Chico Fernandez helped make it happen.
I did the first newscast in color for those for Howard and Ken. I was in charge of lighting at the time because I had gone through color transition before when I was in Florida. And it was new to us here at the station. So I knew how to light the set for color. It was really warm for the talent, so we had to pump up the air conditioner because the cameras were, I don't know if you've seen them, but they were gigantic and required a heck of a lot of light. So yeah, it was not fun for the talent, so we had to try to keep them as cool as possible. We never turned the lights on until it was almost 2 minutes to airtime. I went to New York for a seminar on how to do makeup for color, which, you know, but that was my job. I was a production manager, so I needed to, you know, be up to date on what we could do with the talent so that they would look great in color.
So did you advise like Howard and Ken?
Oh, absolutely. I even bought the makeup for him. What, are you kidding? It was part of the deal.
Lighting and makeup are something we continue to pay close attention to today, especially with the introduction of high-definition equipment and high-def televisions. Well, to watch all of our 70th anniversary stories and our 1-hour special, head to theindychannel.com and click on 70 Years Together at the top of the homepage. And speaking of color, a lot of red, green, and white on the south side right now, the colors of the Italian flag. The Italian Street Fest is underway right now at Holy Rosary Catholic Church. Kevin is there for all the food and all the fun, too. Hey, Kevin.
Well, it may look like I'm at the State Fair. Look at all these people. But I'm at the Italian Street Fest, 35th year for this, and I'm going to hit a button here, and you're going to be able to see all the folks. There's the street, because it is a street festival, isn't it, everybody? But you may only need the curb. Wave, guys. And look at this little IU man, and I promise you, his hands are sticky. Definitely sticky. Cannoli is sticky. Let's walk down this way a little bit. So there are all these food vendors. There are 35, 25 different vendors here. There's music, there's the smell of food in the air. no humidity. It is just a fabulous evening, and I think we'll continue at least through the evening to see near perfect conditions. So there's my aerial view of Italian Fest, and you can park for free at Eli Lilly, and we are right here at Holy Rosary Church. Let's show you the weekend outlook. It won't be as beautiful tomorrow because the threat for showers and thunderstorms returns across central Indiana. In some cases, a few of these may be on the strong side with heavy rainfall as well. I'm joining the conversation. Just wave to everybody. There we go. That's what it's about. Community getting together for good food and good times. All right, back to you.
All right, Kevin, and just bring us a little bit of food back here. We can smell it, though, as we've had those nice breezes out of the south today. But as Kevin mentioned, we are going to have some showers and thunderstorms this weekend. So a good time, make sure you got the Storm Shield app loaded up, ready to go. Not only will you have radar as you're out and about, but if any alerts are issued, any watches or warnings, those will be sent right to your phone as well, and it is free. Looking north over downtown Indianapolis, still some blue sky working in there, but the clouds are going to be on the increase here. Temperatures 73 degrees in Indy, close to 80 for you in the Muncie area. You notice there are a few showers into central portions of Illinois. Those will be sweeping our way here as we go through the next couple of hours. And eventually tomorrow, yeah, we've got some rain chances pretty much peppered in there throughout the day. Temperatures in the middle 60s for you still at noon. As we get into the afternoon hours, a few showers and thunderstorms with numbers making their way into the 70s. So here's the big picture with TrueCast. This is 11:30 this evening. You can see some of those areas of rain working their way through, and at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, especially the southern half of the state, we are going to be dealing with some rain, and some of that rain could be heavy as the humidity starts to rise tomorrow into the afternoon and evening. That's where we could see a few of those stronger storms, primarily some gusty winds and some hail in there. That's why we have the marginal threat across much of central Indiana on Saturday. The slight risk, a little better chance of some severe weather from Bloomington, Seymour, and areas to the southwest. We got Symphony on the Prairie tonight. That looks great. Tomorrow evening, still going to have about a 30% chance of some showers and storms with temperatures in the 70s. Overall, I think the weather is going to be okay tomorrow evening, but it's really a question, how soggy does that ground get during the day tomorrow with all of that rain? Sunday planning forecast, yeah, we're back in those rain chances for Father's Day, so you may want to have some indoor plans as well, but I think maybe a little more dry time Sunday for the second half of the weekend. Looking at that rainfall through the weekend, though, and we're talking about many areas picking up over an inch of rain, about an inch and a half to, in some spots, 3 inches of wet weather here. So some minor flooding issues, also something we're going to keep an eye on for you. Next 7 days of your planning forecast here, and the rain chances just keep coming. So we had a little bit of a break, and now we're back into this very active weather pattern. Temperatures that will make their way into the lower 80s Sunday afternoon. And again, that's when it's really going to feel tropical out there, and some of that heavy rain could fall once again. Monday, some scattered thunderstorms in the forecast. 80 degrees will keep highs in the mid to upper 70s, and those rain chances going for much of next week. Some areas by Thursday could have over 4 inches of rainfall.
Some people could be feeling muggy in the coming days. That's coming back.
By Sunday for sure.
Oh, man. All right. Thank you, Kyle, for that. Well, Dave first got out and about today. He actually went north of downtown, and he caught up with the Colts' Andrew Luck in Westfield today.
Well, guys, Colts minicamp is now in the rearview mirror. The team was several weeks off before training camp. In fact, training camp is going to be happening here in Westfield once again. Grand Park is the place to be. So most of these guys, they're out doing their own thing around the country, except for Andrew Luck.
Technically, it's summer break for Colts QB Andrew Luck, but not before he makes an annual visit.
Are there any Patriots fans here today? Wait, weren't you here the last one? Okay. Security hasn't showed up yet, but when they show up, you're out of here.
It's all fun in a place where Colts camp will be next month.
It's nice to be at Grand Park. It's a familiar setting for me. It gets me excited for training camp. It's like a little preview. Maybe the caliber of wide receiver running around is a little different, but the enthusiasm is there. You guys want to catch it?
Through Riley Children's Health, it's his 6th annual Change the Play program, a personal fight against childhood obesity.
It's a great partnership with Andrew Luck. We actually designed this program with him, and he is all in on it. So he's kind of an attraction to get kids excited, but his message is real, and that's why it's such a great partnership.
In terms of pediatric health, obesity, heart disease, and diabetes, I think we struggle with in this state. And so, trying to get some messages across that can help kids, parents, the community, maybe take step forwards in the right direction.
Ready? So where else can you catch footballs from Andrew, or just hang with the Pro Bowler?
What do you guys think of this? Is this fun?
Yeah.
I mean, Andrew Luck's here. That's pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Have you guys caught a football yet from Andrew Luck?
Go. An opportunity full of luck, who's as comfortable around a group of 8-year-olds
1, 2, 3.
as he is at his other job, which makes you wonder.
You're now married. You and Nicole, have you thought about it?
We'll see what happens.
This program continues up in Fort Wayne next week. There's even a website, play.rileychildrens.org. Serious stuff for something that's otherwise kids play. In Westfield, Day 1st, RTV6 Sports.
With Father's Day coming up this Sunday, we found the perfect story to kick things off. I want you to meet Donovan Hale. He's a wide receiver for the Indiana University football team. Not only is Donovan a standout on the football field, but he is also a proud dad. His son, Weston, turns 2 later this month. Look at him there. And this offseason, he has become Donovan's workout buddy and biggest motivation. Donovan says being a dad has changed his life and that he loves being there every step of the way for his son. So be sure to look for Donovan on the field this coming fall, and little Weston cheering on his dad from the stands at Memorial Stadium. Look at them together.
And a happy Father's Day to him and all the dads out there this weekend.
Right.
Yeah, and as you're making some plans for Dad, might want to have some indoor activities because we've got some fairly high rain chances here Saturday and Sunday, and you notice that rain chance is not going to go away much of next week. At least it'll be on the warm side, though. We've got temperatures well into the 70s to around 80 degrees.
All right. Up next here on RTV6 is World News with David Muir. Rafael Sanchez is back with you at 7 o'clock. Have a good evening.